today we're looking at piano method level 2A, page 29. This one's called Rondo. It's from a very famous Mozart piece, so you might know this tune. So there's a couple things happening in this piece. The main one is the triads. They talk about them at the top in the left hand. So in the key of C major, right here's the C scale, you're looking at the 1 chord, right, which is the C chord. And in this piece you also have the G chord. Right, you're going to see that 5 is the 5th note of the scale, so a G chord, but it's inverted. And it looks like this is a G7, right? And they talk about that here. If you have any questions, you can let me know. But the main thing is that these are the most popular and most commonly seen chords in any key, any major key. So you've got your C major, and then here's your G7, your C, your G7. So in this whole piece, that's pretty much what the left hand does. Once in a while, some other notes, but pretty much concentrating on the triads. So just feeling your way through them. The reason that this G7 is inverted is so that G, it's a common note on the top. These two triads are really close together, right? So it makes it convenient. So here's the C triad. It looks like this, right? And the G7 is right here, right? So they're really close together. You keep your thumb in the same place, and these notes just spread out, right? Right, so a lot of it is just practicing doing that. The reason why it's inverted, like we were talking about, a G7 is way up here in root position. If you had to play this, and then up here, that'd be huge, right? So inverted, you can put it a lot closer. All right, so as you're playing these, I always tell people, make sure your wrist is doing a lot of the work for you. Anytime you've got triads, because you have long fingers and short fingers, if you try to just finger them, it'll be uneven, right? So if your wrist does it, stick out the right fingers, right, and then drop into it. Much simpler, right, instead of trying to use individual fingers. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much what the left hand does in time, right? You just have to count it. Otherwise, left hand is not hard. The right hand, so once in a while, that left hand has a little melody note that blends into the right hand. So like at the beginning, if you kind of try to count out this first incomplete measure, this is and 4 and 1, right? This is an and of 3. So and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So watching for this melody as it kind of runs around, and you'll know it, I think. Same thing here. So just make sure you're counting those. So what I'd like to do is just play through the right hand. I won't have the left hand in there, but you get the gist. So 4 and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so just the right hand. But it's not hard, right? Just getting used to the tune itself. So 1, 2, 3. Rest. 2, rest. So not too difficult. Hopefully it made sense with the first ending, second ending thing. So the first time you play all the way through the first ending, right? And then you take the repeats back to here, right? So the second time you're playing at this point from that note, you're skipping to what's called the second ending, right? Instead, so you're skipping this part, skipping to here, then you keep going to the end. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to stick this up on my little stand here and put both hands together, right? Again, like we said, the left hand's not hard. It's just coordinating the shifts at the same time you're doing right hand. Okay, so from the top, 1, 2, 3. Second line. Repeat. Second line. Second ending, 2, 3. Last line. All right, hopefully that all makes sense.